Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Cybersix episodes 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, we're back. It's been a long time since we've got into Cybersix, or or for that matter, other shows on this channel. It's been mostly just My Hero and a few other like non, things that aren't on our normal slots. For a while now, pretty much since the end of February, I think. But we're back with 3 more episodes of Cybersix here because I do want to kind of get caught up with that and all. There's a problem though. You know how I was reacting to everything on YouTube. I was reacting to Cybersix on YouTube, right? Well, I don't know if it was. I don't know the reason, but all of those episodes are off of YouTube. The only ones on YouTube now are the first 3 episodes, and it's by a different uploader. And I assume this uploader, based on the name and all, it's like TMS Entertainment or something like that, is the rights owner or something. So I don't know what the deal was with it. I don't know like what exactly happened, but all of those episodes are gone off of YouTube. And as I've said before, it doesn't let me download for some reason off of Kim Cartoon. It doesn't give a download link. So I'm going to have to react to the rest of the episodes of this series on Kim Cartoon, basically. Now, it does allow me to open it up in a separate player, like separate from the regular page, which will help because, just for multiple reasons, it'll keep it from opening up a bunch of ads and stuff. So I'm going to do it that way, so it's on a separate tab on the browser. But I'm just hoping it doesn't like constantly lag and everything. I've had that problem with reacting to stuff off of sites like this before, and that was my big worry. But yeah, so we're gonna do it this way, at least for now. As for the series itself, I like it, but I'm waiting for something to really impress me, I guess you could say. It's not anywhere near being dropped or anything yet. No, I definitely enjoy it too much. I enjoy the story, the characters, the just overall style of it. I enjoy it too much. It's not in danger of being dropped, so don't worry. But I do want something bigger to happen with it. Something more interesting, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're doing 3 episodes today either way, and I'm hoping that in these 3 episodes we get something like that, something bigger and better and more exciting. As always, I don't know when I'm going to get back to more of this after this. It's just I want to get to other stuff, especially other stuff we've been putting off. Plus, we're supposed to be starting a new series with Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, so there's that too. Yeah, I got to get back to Owl House too, though. Can't leave that hanging for too long. But yeah. Either way, I am excited to get back to this. I'm just really hoping it doesn't lag like this because that is going to ruin the experience. I'm just saying, if it does. Lagging and freezing and shit always does ruin the experience. But either way, I'm excited. I don't know where this is going to go right now. Because right now we're kind of just fighting these enemies of the week and shit. There's like these recurring enemies, of course, who are there, like the little kid whose name I can't remember. And of course the big goons are always there. But mostly it's just a bunch of different like monsters of the week and stuff. It's really interesting pretty much every time though. Like with the entire mud monster, like that was really interesting. I liked that one. I don't know anything about these episodes going into them. I don't even know the titles. And the reason for that is because when I was bringing these up, I noticed the Kim Cartoon files, for some reason, have the French titles, like the French title cards. And so it's like after the first one, it's just like I didn't even bother trying with the others, and I don't even remember what the first one said. So I'm just skipping past those, and so I won't know the titles to any of these episodes either, even watching them. So yeah. It says the titles on the pages for each episode on Kim Cartoon, but I'm purposefully ignoring that. Um, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, I don't know anything going into these at all, and I'm just hoping that they're pretty good. Um, it really does suck that the YouTube thing was taken off, because that was so handy to have all the episodes on YouTube and shit. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we enjoy. Um, so yeah, for the time being, let's just get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So before anything, I do want to mention that I did find something out. I completely forgot to mention it during the pre-thoughts because I found it out a while ago, and it just kind of skipped my mind when I was getting back into this. I did find out why Cybersix was only one season of 13 episodes. It was actually canceled. From what I heard, it was because of studio interference or something like that. But either way, I would love to see like a reboot of this series, as long as it was handled with just as much care and everything. But so far, yeah, I really have been enjoying this nonetheless. That being said, let's talk about today's episodes. So we start with episode 4, Yashimoto Private Eye. And yes, I looked up the names of these episodes. So Yashimoto Private Eye, we have the new character Yashimoto introduced. He is a private eye, as the name would suggest. He is initially gone to by the bad guys to help in the search for Cybersix. He refuses, but once they steal his little sister, as well as Julian, he has no choice but to accept the deal. So we get to see him hunting down Cybersix, finding out all this info, including finding out that she's Adrian. This is the first person who has actually figured that out. But in the end, he ends up working with her to take down the bad guys and save the kids. And yeah, it's a nice episode. It's a really fun episode. I like Yashimoto's character. I like his little sister and her connection with Julian. I think it was a really well done episode. And the monster of the week, that snail slug mollusk creature, yeah, it was pretty interesting, I guess, but definitely was kind of a minor point compared to everything else in the episode. I mentioned it during the reaction, but I do want to talk about it here as well. There is the one issue I have, and as I said, it's with Yashimoto and his little sister's designs. It was a thing for a long time where Asian people would be often drawn and just designed in various cartoons and whatnot with the oversized buck teeth and the yellow skin and the super squinty eyes. And it's always been like this point of contention about racist caricatures. Now, again, as I said in the reaction, Yashimoto's character is good. Like he's a very competent character, very smart character. I mean, he's a private eye. And he's handled very well. It's just his design is admittedly a little troublesome. It's a bit problematic, at least from my perspective. I can't say how Asian people would view this, how they what they think about his design. I'm not going to even try to say in that regard, but it reminds me a lot of those really old cartoons, like from the 30s or whatnot, where Asian people were portrayed in that very racist way. Um, Hell, I mean, you could even say it's reminiscent of, I believe it's Lady and the Tramp that had those two racist Siamese cat caricatures, who had the buck teeth and the super squinty eyes and the very stereotypical voices and shit. Plus, I mean, just being Siamese cats, with all of that. Um, but yeah, it's kind of reminiscent like that with the buck teeth and super squinty eyes and everything. It's like it's just it just feels a little wrong. But again, I can at least give them that they treated Yashimoto like a competent, well written character, that he wasn't just a walking stereotype, that he actually had a good character to him. So I can appreciate that at least. Um, the episode was really fun. The second episode, though, we had was Lori is Missing, and this one centered around the girl from Adrian's class named Lori, the one who we've seen before had a crush on Adrian. So she's still crushing on Adrian, and she even tries to go and find where she lives and all. She finds out, but sees Adrian dressed in the Cybersix outfit and stuff, like through the keyhole. And while Cybersix is having a conversation with Data 7 and falsely assumes that that's some other woman who's having some, I presume, like based on what she was saying, kinky fun with Adrian. Based on what Lori was saying and how she was describing it and everything, um, with the leather outfit and shit. But yeah, it's a really interesting series of just complete misconstruences there. um, but anyway, she ends up getting kidnapped after she accidentally gets away with Jose's disc, and Cybersix has to save her with help from Lucas, who has started to have a little bit of an issue with Cybersix and Julian after finding out from Lori that Cybersix was in Julian's, or in not Julian. Why did I say Julian? That Cybersix was in Adrian's apartment and stuff, and so yeah, having a little bit of a conflict there. But it gets resolved and everything goes fine. Um, yeah, this one, not as good as the Yashimoto one by any means, but not bad. I thought there was like some funny little stuff, funny little things going on. Um, but then we had the third episode here, episode 6, which was Bluebirds of Horror. This one had the most interesting premise to me, because we had Jose and his team brainwashing all the city's bluebirds. And, well, from what we could see, more than just bluebirds as well, but mostly bluebirds. And they were attacking everyone and just completely going insane. Um, and they were basically being a nuisance in the city. So Cybersix and everyone else had to help. Data 7 definitely helped out in this one. And yeah, basically they had to stop all of this going on. And they did. But in the end, the machine that Jose was using to cause the brainwashing was also because of this giant bird monster inside. And it's like, yeah, all right. Which kind of only came in at the very end and was just kind of, okay, we have to have some kind of experiment monster, so let's just throw this in. It felt very thrown in. Um, Lucas Lucas and Data 7 both had a big role in this episode. Both of them had notable scenes, even without Cybersix, where they were having to deal with everything. There's even some stuff with just random people in the town getting harassed by the birds and all. It made it feel, in a lot of ways, more like a big issue for this town. Like it's more than just this isolated thing. It's this big town-wide issue, and it felt like that because of seeing everyone else going through it as well, not just our main characters. So I did really like that. I just don't think it was as entertaining as like some of the other episodes, like Yashimoto Private Eye, for example. Um, but overall, there was also a couple other things throughout these episodes that that are kind of like being thrown into the mix and being talked about and being I guess coming to light for me, such as the fact that so many of the characters seem to have a very similar hairstyle, even if they're not clones, like Cybersix and Jose are. There's a lot of them who have very similar hairstyles and all, and I know that the like rectangular patches are meant to like represent thinner hair and stuff. Like you'll see it on, like, for example, Lucas's arms to represent he has some thinner, hairier arms. Um, but it's not like super heavily thick. Like when you see it on certain characters, like where the sides are like that, it's kind of representing that they have like shaved heads, like it's shaved on the side, while they have the hair like on top. But either way, a lot of the characters seem to have that, and I was questioning, like Yashimoto was a big example, and I was questioning if Yashimoto was a clone because of it. But I think that's just a design choice for this series. I don't know if it was like that in the comic as well, but it's at least for this show, it's just a design choice. Um, and I've talked about this next thing before, but I really do want to talk about it again because it is a focus, especially in episodes like Lori is missing. Um, our main character is like canonically, legitimately super androgynous. And this is something, again, as I've said in the past, you don't see a lot of in cartoons where a main character is that notably androgynous, um, to where it's like they can just so perfectly pull off like being seen as male or female. And in this case, it's like, yes, she is a girl, she is female. She identifies as such, and she is. But when in disguise, she disguises herself as Adrian Seidelman as a male because she knows she can pull it off. Because without all the makeup and stuff on, she can pull off a very androgynous look that can come across as male and disguise her voice enough to where it sounds like a more high-pitched male's voice. Um, and again, I've talked about this before, but I just really like that. And I can't even fully explain why, but I just really like the fact that our main character is androgynous and is a cross-dresser. Um, I think it's just a really cool touch and something you, again, just don't get that often, so it definitely stands out here. Um, and in terms of her design, like I've seen fan art and stuff of Adrian and, well, Cybersix in general, the show. Um, and people really stick to the general design, of course, but obviously in their own style and everything. Um, and yeah, they continue to make her look androgynous in the art. And I really appreciate that even the artists want to stick to that. They never make her look too feminine or too masculine. It's typically feminine and masculine. You know what I mean. And I just really appreciate that. I really appreciate they keep that androgynous appearance. I really like that about her character. And honestly, like I've talked before about how like there are character designs that are made to be attractive and stuff, and how like how a lot of character designers should be making their characters attractive in order to draw in viewers. And I think that even with the androgyny of her design, I think that Adrian slash Cyber Six is an attractively designed character. Um, And again, the fan art has helped with that for sure, seeing like more high definition stuff and in slightly different styles. I think she is genuinely attractive. Um, and I've seen plenty of androgynous people who I thought were attractive. I mean, there's a model named Rain Dove who is super attractive, as an example. But yeah, either way. These three episodes were good and definitely have kept me invested. It looks like the father, the scientist, is doing a little more active stuff now. So that's interesting. We've also been getting more monsters from the opening. So I assume that those gargoyle things that seem to be either like screaming out these sound waves or air or something like that, I assume they're going to be in here at some point. Um, but yeah, I really do enjoy this series. It's not like my favorite series I've seen or anything, not even close. It would never be in a top 10 for me. But I do really enjoy it, and I really think it should be seen by a lot more people. I would really love for a lot more people to see it. And the voice acting is good. Like Kathy Wesluck does a great job, and everyone else who's part of it, they do a legitimately good job on all of it. And I really wish more people knew about this. But I'm glad that there is a dedicated fan base that is willing to acknowledge it and do some awesome art of it. I just wish there was more, you know? Either way, tell me in the comments below what you thought of these three episodes. And like I said in the pre-thoughts, I don't know exactly when we'll get to more. Hopefully it won't be as long as the last time between, since the last episode we reacted to before these. But yeah, we'll get to more as soon as we can. There's just other stuff I want to get to as well. But yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.